This video is brought to you by the Sanlam Foundation. A question often arises with graduates leaving university. Do I need a medical aid? After all, it costs a lot of money. I'm young, I'm healthy, I'm fit. What are the chances of getting sick? I'd rather have the money as beer money and jol money. Well, here are some little realities that one has to consider when graduating and accepting your first job. And the first up is a reality check. You have to say that now you've graduated, you no longer have an automatic right to medical aid on your parents' medical aid. You only have that as a student. And consequently, now that you've become an income earner, you must source your own medical aid. There are various types of healthcare available in South Africa, and this is the second reality check. We have RSA healthcare, there is private healthcare, and only 8 million out of 50 million South Africans have access to private healthcare. That's if you want your medical aid system. There are then those that get public healthcare, 42 million of them, and they get it through the hospital system, clinics, and the like. You may have heard that there is at present a cost to state of the existing healthcare system of 121 billion rand a year out of total state expenditure of R1 trillion. 12% of the taxpayers' money goes on the healthcare system, yet it is a complete disaster. And that's why they're looking at the national healthcare system, where they're going to spend another 125 billion rand a year on it. The problem is that currently there's not enough taxes in South Africa to pay for it. And so it's going to take a long time for this system to be implemented, probably another 10 years. So graduates of 2012-13 can't simply presume that the state is going to provide. Now, in earlier videos that we've done in this series, we've said that how you produce income is with your brain. But the very important thing is that you've got to have your health to drive your brain. Your brain without a body to support it is worthless. Then you need time on your side to help investment income and your earnings grow. And then you need an email address. Those are the components of wealth. We also found that where we have denial, denial tends to basically overtake everything. So the question goes, do I have to belong to a medical aid? And most employers insist on this in some form or another. But you'll have to negotiate that with an employer when you accept your post. Some employers don't. They say it's up to you. And business owners, they don't have their own medical aid schemes unless they separately provide for it. They're at the most risk in this whole problem. When one looks at what a medical aid is going to cost you, you can go onto the Discovery Health website and you will see that the lowest medical aid cover, which is basically hospitalization and major incidents, is going to cost you 892 Rand per member per month. And if you've got a whole family, that maxes out at 2,273 Rand per month. An executive medical aid that covers virtually everything will cost 3,365 Rand per member per month, or up to 8,000 Rands per family. That's generally beyond the reach and of affordability of a graduate, and that would be something that you'll maybe consider later in your life. What we need at this stage is basic medical cover. You may ask, well, what's the taxman going to pay? At present, he pays a little tax rebate. You get 230 Rand per month off your taxes if you are a member of a medical aid. That's for the first member plus one dependent. If you have a family, for every dependent beyond 2, you get another 154 Rand per month. But this is worked on the average tax rate of South Africa, which is 25%, i.e. SARS will never pay for more than 25% of your total medical costs. So some people say, procrastinate, we can do it next year. Why bother? And one of the questions you've got to ask is, will a medical aid accept you later? If you've already picked up a problem, you will have to disclose that to a medical aid, and then there will be all terms of conditions, etc. You can't simply join a medical aid when it suits you. There is no guarantee that you can get cover for existing problems and ailments that you may have when you join a medical aid. The best time to join a medical aid is when you are young and healthy. Then there is the other question. When you're single, maybe going without a medical aid is one thing, but you're certainly not going to face a position where you've got a whole family at risk, spouses and kids and everybody else, without some form of medical insurance. And then we've also got to consider with young people that that is where accidents can occur. It's not only a question of health, it's also a question of cover against medical expenses should you have an expensive accident. So here are my recommendations. No graduate in South Africa should be without some form of medical cover against medical emergencies, major health incidents, and accidents. That is terribly important. There are various forms of products and packages available. Some of them come through your employer. If the employer is not providing them, then you are going to have to look and see, well, what's around. But if you go onto the internet and just Google it, you will be overwhelmed with the range of product and advice available. Some of it's good, some of it's not so good. My recommendation is go to an advisor who knows about it. And they will tell you what should be covered, what should not be covered, and see what you can do to find an affordable medical aid after graduation. This video was brought to you by the Sanlam Foundation.